I call an opener.
Fucking sorry.
Shame on you.
Useless.
This has been going on. What's that? Why did you do that?
Don't hit him!
God of a shit! I'm wounded! Fuck!
Can't.
I hope,
Hey, stop
he
fighting.
doesn't hurt anyone else. I don't have the whole day for you. A fine day for some fine work. What's the matter? Shit yourself?
What's for sale? Crackling flatbread. Hurt twice. Greased fresh flatbread.
This has been going on too long.
Hang him!
These days,
What's
no
that?
one's ever really safe.
I'm just getting
Do
warmed
that.
up.
Why did I don't have the whole day for you.
I hope you
Big
don't hurt
mistake,
anyone else.
shithead. Stop beating What's the matter? Shit yourself?
My respect.
Filthy vermin.
Shit!
What are you doing?
Shame on you. You'll be fucking sorry.
These days, no one's ever really safe.
Don't
I'll
hit
beat
him!
you to a bloody pulp, fucker.
Big mistake, shithead. Hey, shame on you.
This has been going on too long. Useless. Get it home.
Have a bowl as well.
Day for some fine wares. Come and take your pick.
A fine day for some fine wares. Come and take your pick, then. What the fuck was that about? We've got enough
take
to
your
go
pick.
around. Anything you need. Quality good.
Don't have the whole day for you.
Never gonna be over.
I hope he doesn't hurt anyone else.
Big mistake, you cunt.
Go fuck yourself.
Hey, stop fighting. What are you doing? These
going on
days, no
too
one's ever really safe.
Don't hit him. Come closer and take a look. Quality goods here. Greetings, sir. Yellow and red. Buy some apples. Hot lids. The finest.
What will it be? Sure.
Worried about the prop.
Come and take your pick.
Here.
My, I'm glad you found what you were looking for, sir.
Vegetables, horseradish, delicious
Shoes
horseradish.
here. Shoe repair.
Wonderful
Repair while
horseradish.
you wait.
But it should be all right. Naturally, I'll return the difference in price.
The finest fine wares.
wares here.
God bless you, sir.
You must be frantic.
I am.
I'm Henry. I heard you're supposed to serve at the city council.
I am.
Supposing I took the job on for you. You can put your feet up, fill your belly.
Look here. It's not like I'm all that keen on it, but them councillors stuffing their faces and guzzling wine while I run around like a bug. Why would you want to stick your nose?
Linen canvas. The softest linen canvas. Come and buy the finest.
I want to see the king in the...
Why's that?
Well, I heard a lot about him.
And as bad-tempered as the devil. He's got the councillors shitting themselves. The more I think about it, the happier I am about not having to be there. To begin with, you'll need confirmation that you've worked as a waiter. Look here. Do you have any idea?
Striped fabrics.
Of course.
All right, all right. Show the confirmation to the head butler.
That makes sense.
And you'll need a waiter's livery. And that idiot Schneider let it get stolen. It ain't my problem no more.
Thanks.
You better not.
A wonderful day for a
About the job of...
fine wares here.
Try and look on it as an...
What are you
If you forget about the payment, if anyone asks, I'll say the great... And then people will be...
And what if I...
Oh, I might accidentally...
If that's how you want it. But if I hear a single...
Absolutely.
Only I seem to have misplaced the But maybe the way... Here it is. I look like a prick in it. Hopefully it'll... The main thing is...
Thanks. I won't disgrace you. I promise.
You'd better not. God be with you, good sir.
We've got enough to go around. Anything you need.
Report for duty. Okay. Take off the sword. So I got. But no shoes. I gotta wear shoes.
Come and take a look. Quality good.
Major Domo. He just has no name. He's just Major Domo. Well, that guy just disappeared. What the hell?
Franta Cooldown sent me. I'm to stand in for him at the council assembly.
Franta's not coming? What's wrong with him?
He got poisoned. He's writhing in agony. By turns.
Oh, Latin. We can't be without a waiter here. So, have you got Franta's certificate?
Sure.
Everything. You've got a waiter's. A tunic, yeah. Hose. It's a good thing you've got no steel on you. You need to be light on your feet to run around. Everything as it should be. Do you know what your duties for an inexperienced greenhorn like?
Well, I'll happily listen to any advice.
I should certainly. Now listen. A good waiter should stand in a In short, behave as. But when one of the gentlemen calls for wine, you run. You'll find the pitchers on a table by the door to the chapel. You take white Tokaib or red monastery wine.
White or red, by the door to the chapel.
But for Councillor Adam of Zarjitz, you must not pour at all. When he drinks, he disrupts and makes trouble. So the assembly has to be interrupted. Or we can't allow that to happen.
All right. Sir Adam of Zarjit stays dry.
And if the king himself wants wine, you pour for him with lowered eyes. Don't look at him. And the most important thing?
Remember
That too, but more importantly, and in general, a good waiter...
Oh?
Well, yes, but only to what anyone wants. Understood?
Absolutely. I'm a waiter, after all.
Correct. And if you manage not to botch it up, you can even rise on the social ladder. Not just any, but you'll manage it.
I know everything I need to. I can do it.
Excellent. Put away your things here. It's easier to serve with a lighter load. You can wait in the cubbyhole for the servants.
The city reserves are in urgent need of new weapons. Unversüchlich. Our current Waffenarsenal is a joke. And on top of that, the army was requisitioning from it.
waiter, pour me some
Should the
Tokai.
town reserve have worse weapons than any Räuber in the domain?
What are you getting at, Eldris?
I'm saying that the bandits who freed Hinnick, the Dry Devil, used that thing. That Hackenbisher.
Are you deaf or something?
Hand
Why?
cannon. Can you believe it? Where did they get them?
You're the one who should know where they got them, since you're a gunsmith.
What are you implying, Friedrich? All I'm saying is that they had them, Herr
Are you
God.
deaf or something?
It is
Why?
eine Schande when outlaws have better weapons than the city garrison. And Herr
I
König
apologize, sir.
surely knows this
Which
too.
one?
Tokai. White.
What is it,
Are you
Eldris?
deaf?
You smell a deal?
What I smell is that your stubborn heads do not realize what Schwierigkeiten this is. The Dry Devil is running free. There are Raubritter everywhere in the region. We have the army bearing down
Thank
and you
you,
want
waiter.
to defend yourselves with a few rusty halberds.
And who is it you want to fight, exactly? The merciful King Sigismund is providing us with protection, isn't he?
Der König and his army will not be here forever.
Shut up! The king can arrive at any moment.
Hey,
What if he
waiter,
heard you?
pour me some monastery
What then?
wine.
We're sitting atop the biggest silver heap in the kingdom.
apologize, sir.
And we're supposed to
Which
defend
one?
it with brooms.
You're right,
Am I speaking
Eldris.
in Latin?
But where can we get the coin for better equipment?
We can always confiscate the property of the king's enemies. Nicht wahr?
We are more than familiar with the jämmerlich state of our armory. And the king is surely aware of it as well. Maybe if he waived some of the taxes...
Monastery wine.
The king
Here.
fears that this town will rise against him. He'll take the arming of the city's militia as a preparation for war.
So you suggest we just wait with arms crossed
I'm sorry,
for the
sir.
Raubritter to wreak
Orders from
havoc
above.
all around?
This is
We can
unbelievable.
always ask the king to bring order to the realm with his army.
But then the Dörfler will rise up.
I'm afraid I see no solution of the current situation. We shall wait and see what His Majesty thinks about the matter.
Pour me red
Maybe
wine.
we can change his mind. Vielleicht.
Sir?
Well, thank the Lord.
I'd like to report to the Honorable Council
I'd like
on
some
the
monastery
cleanliness of
wine.
the city
Refill my
and
cup,
the
boy.
state of the public baths.
You mean baths or brothels?
Isn't it the same
That's not a good idea, sir.
This is unbelievable.
So, the cleanliness of the city is not what it should be. The current baths in the city fall far short of covering all the citizens' needs.
More
You're
wine,
right, Your Honor.
Master Bailiff?
I
But a
have
woman
enough
named Betty
wine.
has showed up
Come
from Huffring.
closer.
I want to repair the baths that used to be there.
I need something from you. There is an item in my study that I confiscated from a female thief. She thought she could wriggle out of it by telling me who the item belongs to.
And what is it?
A silver goblet. She sneaked into Sir Ulrich's house. No one's noticed the theft yet. But if Ulrich go and get it,
The need for cleanliness and citizens' health should not be underestimated.
Certainly, sir.
come back with this straight.
Wash, there's a river just a few steps from the city walls.
Certainly. And they can get leeches there for free as well. And while he's there, a man can shave and take a... you-know-what.
So what? Going to the bath is neither a civic duty nor a right.
Have you forgotten the Black Death? A great many people died needlessly.
Are you questioning God's plan? The Black Death had nothing to do with the baths. Unless the Lord wishes to punish the wickedness that's going on in there.
Keeping the city clean is important. But we don't have money to spend. Arguing about who is going to wash where and how is a waste
Nice.
of time.
It's
Whose
only a
silver
waste
might
of
this
time
be?
because we're always arguing about the same thing.
Not at all. If you'd finally admit that it's a trite...
So, the...
I did, Master.
not so loud. And now go back to your...
Rats, slop, and rubbish. The least we can do for the citizens is to provide them with a place to wash up.
What nonsense! Next, you'll want me to serve wine to everyone for free, too.
Why not? In Jerome Nars's earthly paradise, everything would be free.
Don't put words in my mouth.
Gentlemen, let's agree to disagree. What if the king heard us?
I got word that Rutard has pulled off another deed.
That's nothing unusual. That old weasel will never accept that the city isn't run his way, at least until His Majesty honors us with his visit. And
Hey,
as we
waiter,
know,
pour me some
Gunslin
monastery wine.
absolutely hates him.
He can hate all he wants, as long as he does no damage. Ulrich, what have you got to say about it?
Me? Well, I'm not sure what you're implying.
Monastery
I'm
wine.
speaking about the Rutard incident. You were there, weren't you?
Sir?
That's just a small misunderstanding.
Well,
We've sorted it
thank
out
the
and
Lord.
everything's settled.
My ears must be deceiving me. Are you defending Rutard? Besides, if his men attacked yours, as I've heard, then we have a good reason to punish him.
What happened there? Leave nothing out.
I don't like
Pour me red
Rutard,
wine.
true, but in this case it really was nothing.
Everyone in the city gossiped about it. I heard there were several dead.
Did you? That's grossly exaggerated.
Sir?
I don't think Rutard will cause any trouble. He is sensible enough not to draw attention to himself while the king is here.
That's true. Because if we don't do something
I
about
fancy
him,
some
the
Tokar.
king himself will put an
Refill,
end to
boy.
him, and soon.
Unless he puts an end to us first. God knows what he wants to tell us.
If nothing happened, there's no point in dwelling on it. Let's move on.
I'm sorry,
Boy,
Andreas, but
are
I
you
wouldn't
deaf
brush
or
it off so
something?
quickly.
Wine.
Why do I have the
White.
feeling you're not telling us the whole truth, Ulrich?
Are you accusing me of lying?
Those are strong words, my friend. Nobody said anything like that, did they?
Then why doesn't he tell us what
deaf
really
or
happened?
Wine.
I'm not keeping
White.
anything from you. But there's little truth to the rumors circulating
Sir?
around the town. Yes, Rutard and I had a little
Well,
disagreement.
thank the Lord.
But we ended it quickly because his daughter wanted to get involved. I didn't want to expose the girl to any unpleasant sights.
So Rutard is hiding behind his own daughter's skirts.
As if it wasn't enough that he sent his son to die defending the city.
All right. If we really don't have anything new to say, let's turn the page.
Things have got out of order in the town. Some adventurers decided to take the law into their own hands and restore the tradition of duels. It's not only barbaric, but also illegal. If we tolerate this, the rabble in the city will go wild and do whatever they want. I suspect the gentleman from the city's sword-fighting school brought this custom
Waiter,
to us.
get me
that
white.
German, Menhard, is just hanging around the market looking for trouble.
Don't be ridiculous, Forsucker. You act like you've never been in a fight yourself. And to accuse a swordsmaster...
Are
without a
they
shred
only
of
just
proof.
pressing the grapes for
Well,
that
that's some
Tokai?
fishwives
Sir?
in the marketplace.
So you will just leave it be?
Proven
Don't hang around
offences
me.
are punished
Vanish,
by
you
the
hear me?
bailiff. And that's that. There are more pressing matters
As
to
you
deal
wish.
with.
More pressing than the open contempt of the whole
I don't
town
want to
garrison.
see you again.
The guards are apparently settling accounts their own way.
come here
We'll
for a
soon
moment.
be the laughing stock of the whole town.
Careful!
You can rest assured the whole town is already laughing at us all day long. So what if they have one more reason?
Hey!
My
Waiter!
words exactly. The town
Refill, sir.
council is
Do you think I come to the
squabbling
council just to guzzle
constantly
wine?
over a chop.
What can I help you with, sir?
I left my gloves in the chapel. I took them off to pray, but then I rushed here and forgot to take them. I can't just get up and walk out now. But if you disappear for a little while,
Ah, the hell with it.
All right.
We'll never get anywhere
I'll get
like
them.
this.
I knew I could count on you. While you're at it, count how many figures on the mural have wings.
But why?
Because I'm bored. And
was easy enough. And he wanted me to count the winged figures.
So, let's...
I found your gloves.
Really? And did you count those winged figures?
I counted 16, sir.
And did you count all the monsters?
Oh.
I'll go back to serving wine.
There's the eternal dispute over the cathedrals. The building of the church is dragging on, and in the meantime, they are calling diocesan pilgrimages to settlers, right under our noses. It's just a village with a monastery, and they are going to make a royal mining city. Why can't we build faster? Hire more craftsmen, start with night shifts.
Haven't you noticed there's a war going on? Are the experts from far off supposed to work in a city under siege?
Sir?
Besides, I get the feeling there's something other than the welfare of the city behind your complaints.
Familiar to me.
Oh, you do? Do you?
Have we met?
And what would that be?
Naturally.
Like,
I
for
go to your
instance,
tavern almost every
you'd
day.
like to have
Really?
your own altar there?
Then you
So
must
what
have
if I
decent
would-
wages to
Hold
be
your
able to
horses,
visit the
gentlemen.
best tavern in town
That
regularly.
space in the side nave is mine.
When hell freezes over, my friend, your place is at least 2 steps behind mine.
A swordsmith dares to insult me? Ha! I think not.
Excuse me? You wanted to buy yourself an altar in the cathedral, just like you bought yourself a seat in this council.
How dare you? I acquired my seat for the services our guild provided and still provides to the crown.
Well, I hope you're not supplying
Waiter,
equipment to the army.
pour me red wine.
If that's all they have, they would be defeated by that bunch of ne'er-do-wells from the alehouse on Obrink.
What ne'er-do-wells?
Those wrestlers of theirs, of course. People from the whole town
Sir?
go to watch them brawl.
Oh, this is news to me.
Good.
Because
Now
it
run
has
along.
all been sorted out. Not long ago, the guards raided and threw them all out.
Ah, yes, I had forgotten. What do we have to discuss next?
I'm telling you, something is being planned.
Oh, I doubt it. No one's gonna tackle Rootard.
Oh, damn. Oh, oh. A little chubby. Amanda, let's go.
Azonaltje Chagose, Alegiop Katonaikat, Ishkelkinek Utra.
You have nothing to fear. Not you.
Like this plan of fights!
Come now, Father. Put a little life into your dying. Seen more cheerful priests at funerals.
I'd rather be at one than here. I hoped I'd never see this fortress again in my life.
Unpleasant memories?
You have no idea. I didn't part ways with my father on entirely good terms. 20 years ago.
And now you're 2 decades older and wiser. At your Ujit's parish, you spread the word of God to your flock, and you saved my neck and Henry's too. I'd say your father should be proud of you.
None of that matters.
Who knows? Maybe that 20 years has changed.
You know what? How does it feel to...
What can I say?
Or, until...
No fear of that in my case. Wine...
Do you know any of...
Most of them I'm seeing for the first time in my life. We've had bandits, nobles, burghers, a priest, and...
Wait a moment. Rabbi?
Yeah. He came with a retinue. But for now, they're keeping mostly to themselves. Maybe you should go and welcome some of them. After all, this used to be your home. And you're a spiritual man too, so...
I wouldn't be too... Who's that French fellow you brought here?
The great Baron Brabant. Been everywhere, knows... He's got more fairy tales than...
Can he be trusted?
He's a blabbermouth. Besides, he defended Kuttenberg. If he were on Sigismund's side, he'd hardly have been locked up with me.
What do you plan to do now you're a free man again?
What do you think? Get drunk, woo one of the local wenches, and wake up in the morning with no hose and a head like a church bell.
Have you perchance forgotten we're supposed to be deciding the future of the king?
I'll leave that to the older and wise.
Dear me. I'd rather, but I suppose I'll have to introduce myself.
Indeed you should.
Oh, don't start with that. I'd like to steer clear of the old man as long as...
In that case, you should sound out Radzig and Hanush and find out what they're actually...
God be with you.
Good health to you, sir. I'm Godwin.
Baron Vauclin Brabant, Chevalier de... I am a warrior, a traveler, a strategist, and also...
My word.
Mais non! And I'm...
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Baron. How did you end?
Ah, c'est une histoire compliquée. And only lost it never...
That needs some
Oh, misère.
So?
When they broke through the defense, I ended up in captivity.
Oh?
My neck was not at risk in Maleshov. I may have still been a prisoner, but they never...
You say you're a poet?
Jamais. This poet, I think not. To recite a
Where have you been on your travel?
But of course, if you are interested in my greatest journeys, then and if you are interested in my greatest deed, then...
And you wouldn't by any chance know the...
Which one do you mean? I spoke briefly with Boniface de Na...
How come almost no...
I am operating, as they say. My great benefit is my strong connection with there. Everyone knows my name. Here in Bohemia, I'm still building my reputations.
How are things, my friend?
Such rare guests. One wouldn't expect to find among Christians representatives of your... I'm Godwin. My
Peace be with you. Neither would...
How do you know I'm a...
It's not difficult to tell, and we are both a little on unfamiliar ground here. I'm Yehuda, leader of the rabbinical court in the sacred community of Gutenberg. And this is...
Who would rather not be here? Why did we have to come here, Sadie? Can you not see...
Because we all need to help each other in the... And why would they not stir when you are from...
Are you here to arrange...
We have more serious matters to attend. The situation in the town and the king. You have men and weapons.
Why are you telling this to a Koimer? You wanted to...
Everything in good time.
Did you come to lend...
Not to lend, but to give.
You don't even know if you can trust them. With that money...
You remind me of my young friend...
Henry. That...
You know each other.
That would be him.
Maybe you'll get to know each other better. For a young stripling, he's been through plenty. He was supposed to become a blacksmith, and instead...
Wait, from Scarlet's?
Aye, that's right.
I knew of someone.
My daughter knew him most, and that is why Samuel is...
Maybe he was my father, but he certainly didn't act like one. Ma raised me on her own.
And that was all for the best.
Why? You should have taken care of me.
Don't make hasty judgments. As far at least, he took in Henry and raised him as his own, on the orders of the Lord of Skalitz. Sir Radzik Henry's...
I don't care if he took care of 20...
That boy's bloodfather denied him.
A person can't choose their parents. And Henry only found out...
Enough. I'd rather have a drink.
For that, there...
Good health.
L'chaim.
Dear friends and allies, in these troublesome times, you all know why we're here. The question remains, what to do next? Sigismund is facing troubles in Hungary, and here, too, he is up against resistance. He's a capable strategist, but a poor diplomat. Mark my words. If we wait him out until winter, he will leave of his own accord.
By winter, he'll have torched all our fortresses and carried off everything that we possess.
Are we seriously gonna wait and cower in a corner? Or are we gonna drive them out in shame? A few well-planned raids and we could have him in our fists!
At what price? Have you got men to spare? Has any of you got men and money to spare?
We don't have men out there.
Yes, we do.
We do not.
Jobst is right. That whole sun won't fall easily.
Only we can't wait.
Are we to get ourselves killed?
Or end with nothing?
Friends, we'll get nowhere like this. Let's adjourn ourselves and try to think it through.
Well, that went just as expected. Good health.
And to yours. Could it have gone any other way when there's so many of us here?
I would have expected a bit more sense from Jobst. He made an amateur's mistake. But by the way, I'm John of Licht.
That's not a thing I've ever boasted.
I have my... From what I've heard about you, I'd judge you...
Is that so?
Indeed. And that's why I'd like to ask...
It depends.
A little... I expect we can agree that Jobst's plan... And the way it stands at the moment, he'll never get the...
Well, I'm curious how you hope to shut...
We'll sit and wait quietly until Sigismund withdraws of his own volition, but we'll be waiting in the military camp.
When Sigismund sees that, he'll...
Exactly. Sigismund's army is demoralized, and he's able to tackle fortresses that aren't able to defend themselves.
But he can't retreat either.
And that's exactly why we'll wait until he's called back to Hungary. For the plan to work, we need allies. We just need negotiators who will push the right...
Are you saying you said everything?
More like in parallel. If we find support and make it look like the whole thing was his idea, we'll all win.
You've got an in...
You're certainly not the first to tell me that.
Why are you doing...
Because I want to put a stop to the... And also because I'm happier with Wenceslas on the behemoth.
I'll help you.
I'll give you 3 names. Bocek of Kunstadt, Haman Alder, and Anna of... If you can get those 3. Meanwhile...
I'll get on it then.
I wish us both luck.
Success.
I'll tell you, nobody has the likes of these.
Not even Bocek?
Not even Bocek. And he's a great lord.
That's hard to believe.
What?
I'd like to check your horses out.
Ha! Even better. But
And you might not believe your eyes.
well, well.
I wanted to...
You wanted to apologize for crashing into my home without a
I want to have a word with...
Well, I'm happy
I...
for interrupting our conversation.
Is that your...
Unfortunately.
I came with a delegation.
Why so strict?
20 years ago, he was nothing but I got him a place at the Archbishopric to have some. Only it wasn't long before they... And then I find out that he took his boozing and whoring along with...
Try saying it again a little louder. They might not have...
You have the impertinence to show me your face after...
I wouldn't set foot here if I had a choice.
How?
You're as shit a father as I am a son. We've got nothing.
Dishonoring your...
I can't dishonor someone who has no...
That's enough!
Christopher.
You won't get away with those insults.
We've never met, and we have no cause to be enemies. Take back your...
You've got no other option. You insulted...
Gentlemen, surely there's no need for violence. I can have a word in private with Lord Odorin, the second, as he desires, and then...
Out of the question. This uncouth loud, and he's got plenty to learn from Christopher. Why...
You want satisfaction? Suit yourself, then. We'll fight.
After you.
Well, that's...
Shouldn't we rather...
No. Christopher...
Make room for us. We'll just settle a very private matter. It's an honorable duel, man against man. Stay back. Hey, who taught you that?
Cover your
Not bad
right
for a priest.
side! You've got a gap
They teach
there
you
I
that
can
in the
drive a
seminary?
cart through.
Hey, who taught you that?
Stand firm.
That was sneaky.
Otherwise, the first strike
Oh.
will put you on your
Enough.
arse.
That will do. My God. Father always said you were a good-for-nothing boozer.
I was in a war, and you ought to know yourself.
Aye.
So Father would be... Only he'll never be satisfied.
I thought he was the way he was because his first son let him down. And he hurt...
Not at all. When I was 6 years old, he wouldn't talk to me for a week.
The first time he took me hunting, he let me starve for 3 days and...
Only 3 days?
I always wondered who you were.
Look, I really did fuck up everything I could, but now...
And that's why...
I've got to get him on our...
Aren't we all on the...
Maybe everyone's saying that.
Actually, I don't think you should even attempt it.
What else can I...
I'll talk to him myself. He'll hear me...
All right, then. It's a nice idea.
Only no one's going to pay for one, because that would be an outright admit...
Alder's got some clout with the councillors and burghers who are loyal to Sigismund.
I expect Alder's... Leave Alder to me.
I don't know how to thank...
You can drag me to a tavern sometime. Pa doesn't...
Mind your own fucking business.
Greetings to you, friend. Burgers, patricians, and usurers.
Sir Bocek,
A man hardly puts his cup to his lips, and Jobs comes up with a plan as full of holes as a beggar's shoes, and now...
On the contrary.
Does that improvement include a few thousand men-at-arms?
A few thousand men-at-arms, only in order to get them.
You've got my attention.
Are we not on...
We are, but an alliance is of no use if it doesn't...
Doesn't that seem...
If you hesitate to kiss a bear's ass, I have a lot of property, lots of subjects to... I can't risk it all.
So you need guarantees that you won't be left...
My guarantee is called Yitka. If I succeeded in marrying her off to another strong house,
Maybe it's enough to find a suitable...
Perhaps someone of suitable standing who...
How about...
He's a young...
He may be young. He's got battle experience. And when he gets the estate, that's his by right.
If he gets it. Right now, Hunnish lords over Rattay and seems quite happy. On the other hand, the lords of Lipa have a... Maybe it's...
I'll convey your offer to Lord...
I don't care what the young lord... If he agrees, I'll be...
Pushing up.
The kingdom will not forget his...
Sir Hanush.
You do?
Young Lord Cape...
If he's got some impoverished, I'm not going to...
You misunderstood my meaning. I mean, with...
You arranged a marriage for my...
With the niece of Sir Butchek, Lord of Kunstadt.
Butchek of Kun... Godwin, you conniving...
Oh, fuck.
I don't think so. Young Hans...
Niece.
If you're serious, I'll make sure that you get the Rattay parish.
Or you could make me the abbot of Sassa. Or what about a bishopric?
Forget it. Soon I'll be paying for a wedding. Not a word to Hans. I want to tell him myself.
Cheers!
Cheers to you!
Jesus Christ be praised. God be with you. Sir Butchek, your niece Yves...
So Hanush agreed?
Indeed.
Then I will fulfill my...
Thank you.
Enough formality.
Cheers to the beautiful Lady Yitka and the unhappy...
Here's to a good bargain.
May I have a...
You? Any... Unlike this...
Young Lord Capon is finally...
He got a harsh lesson. But at least... But if not...
Do you think there's really going to be a war?
I sincerely hope so.
God be with you.
Taking their time again.
It'll be worse if you already
God in heaven, you're seeing this.
God be with you. There's something I'd...
God be with you.
Your diplomat...
No beating around the bush, eh?
Margrave Yob's plan has some gaps,
To muster an army that Margrave...
Christ.
I should say so. All sorts of people have... Although, between the two of us...
Hit the nail on the head again.
I am rarely...
I'd say you have a better nose for people than...
Not only for people, but...
Then you were in the right place.
The wine here is average. So,
Nothing more than support and resources for an army to...
nothing more? I'd say that's plenty.
It's not only your money, you're well able to negotiate and trade.
Then I'd be... If you want me to support you, you might...
Do you have something in particular?
Well, one of the get...
Who's that?
Harmon. Now, if you were to switch these papers for...
All right, I'll help you.
Aldo will surely have the papers in his saddlebags, which he left in the shed on the outer courtyard. Bring them to me, but watch yourself. Odorim's groom has eyes ever...
What brings you here? God bless.
Aren't you a bit...
What's your problem? The horses?
God forbid. But stand...
Not really.
Shall we roll...
Well, I'll wait at the table. What brings you here?
As if I didn't have enough on my plate already.
I've got those papers from...
Quiet!
Milady, with all the clamor going on here, I can hardly hear my own thoughts. Here they are.
You're more capable than I expected. Thanks for the help.
You're welcome. And now you're part of the bargain.
As agreed. I will support Liechtenstein's proposal with both words and money.
Thank you, noble lady. God will...
Yes, quite. But let's drink to our bargain, Godwin.
How could I refuse a toast with such a fine lady? To your health, Lady Anna.
And to the success of our efforts.
I'm still hoping it works.
Gentlemen, I think we can raise our goblets to the successful
Is this?
Like I said, miracle... Tell me, Godwin of the House of
I bring nothing from the House of Odorin. But the widow of Waldstein and Sir Bocek of Kunstad will support our cause.
Both of them. Good heavens, what did you promise them?
This is going to be a long story, and I could use a drink. So if you'll excuse me, my lords?
It would seem that we have all benefited from the break in these proceedings. New alliances have been formed. And I have also changed my plans. We shall still wait for Sigismund to withdraw his troops of his own accord, but we will wait with an army at our backs.
Yes! And how are we to raise an army? Wasn't it made clear at the meeting that no one wants to take the risk?
The only thing made clear was that each of us alone is weak, and that we could not find common ground. But that has now changed.
King Wenceslas is, by the will of God, the Balbatim of all his subjects. Not only the Christians, our community, and not only ours, will give you coin.
The Kuttenberg houses are still loyal to King Wenceslaus, and we stand with Lord Ruthard.
And if that's not enough, the houses of Leipa and Kunstadt will unite and march side by side.
My niece, Yitka, will take young Lord Capon as her husband.
Lords Kunstadt, Hanush, Radzig, and I will set out immediately. God willing, we will be back within 3 weeks, along with an army.
Now those are words worthy of a nobleman.
My friend, I still believe that words are more powerful than swords. And our words will ring in 1,000 voices to the glory of King Wenceslas.
After we conquered the city, you promised to restore order immediately. And then I find out things are even more disordered than before.
Your Majesty, we are sorry. We will put it to rights.
You've already said that. I want to hear real solutions.
We will put more guards on the roads and toughen penalties. We can have a few captured bandits executed as an example to others.
We do not care about bandits. We care about rebellious nobles and burghers. What will you do with them? How will you solve the chaos in the town administration, the rebellious miners, and the dismal yields? And how is it even possible that a rebellion against the king is smoldering here in the city?
What do you mean, sire?
I hear the resistance is coming from the Jewish quarter, from right under your noses. Why haven't you done anything?
We don't know who is behind this. Without evidence, we cannot punish them.
Otto von Berghoff did not ask questions in Prague either. He acted. And I advise you to do the same. Find a couple of wretches in a hole somewhere, point them to the Jewish quarter, and give them free rein to do anything. The city's Jewish community was and still is on Wenceslas' side. They need a warning.
We do not even have enough men to...
Marquardt, could you spare a few men for a while?
Of course, sire. I'll assign them to Eric. He'll take care of it.
So you see, all you have to do is make sure the city rebel get their share. You could at least manage that, couldn't you? And if the thought should cross your minds that you would get rid of the debts to the Jewish moneylanders this way, forget about it. Your debts will remain, up to the last groschen. Only now you owe us directly. And while we are on the subject of money, has the yield from the mines finally matched last year's?
Sire, the deposits are dwindling.
and mining is becoming increasingly difficult. And to make matters worse, the miners started rebelling.
Don't take us for a fool. They'll stop rebelling when you pay them proper wages.
Your Majesty, we can't do that.
Silence! How dare you oppose the kingdom's protector? You're a bunch of incompetent sycophants! Chicken shits! Not any better than the scum hiding in the forest.
I apologize, sire. I'll do everything in my power to...
All I hear from you over and over again are excuses and prevarication. And results? None. I therefore place the City Council under the authority of Sir Marquardt von Aulitz, who is present here, with immediate effect. He will make sure you finally do your duty.
But, sire, that would be a violation of the privileges granted to us as a free mining town.
Silence! I am the only guarantor of your rights. You have to earn your privileges, not hide behind them. During my brother's reign, this idleness was perhaps tolerated. But that is over now. You were given a few simple tasks. But instead of working on them, you idled in the baths and lined your pockets. And let the traitors cast their nets undisturbed. But unlike my brother, I am capable of creating order. And I assure you, I do not distinguish between those who stand. You have 2 weeks to restore order in the city and increase mining output. I want clear results, and you answer only to me and Sir Marquardt von Aulitz now. No one else. The council is dismissed. You, don't go anywhere, boy. Be so kind and remain here. Our throat has become rather dry. And we still wish to speak with our friend von Aulitz.
Yes, sire. As you wish, sire.
Between the two of us, Marquardt, was I not perhaps too harsh on them? And speak candidly. We have had enough false flattery.
Sire, you were harsh, rightfully so. These councillors, they need to be shown their place. You suffered their insolence for far too long. The same is true.
We know. Otto repeated to us several times that it is time to strike against them. We are glad he's not here. He would be intolerably self-satisfied if he knew we had heeded him.
Boy, can't you see the king's cup is empty?
You tend to us as if we were infirm. Boy, pour us a monastic wine. The monks had a good year. We have concerns, friend. The Hungarians are rebelling. Our army is falling apart, and we have enemies here on all sides. Would we had a proper army instead of human mercenaries? They cannot be relied upon. And we are no closer to our goal now than a few months ago. Thank you. It is a good year. If our father were still alive, he would have been astonished by the less than a few years of Wenceslas' reign brought to us. With a single word, he would have put the nobility in their place, and the country would flourish. God grant him eternal glory.
We won't need much more time. We'll arrest the traitor Odorin, and the rest will fall in line.
You say the others will be brought into line, but what do you know of them? We know only a few of them. But there's a fortress standing on every damn hill here. What side are their lords on?
We'll find out soon enough, sire.
If only Wenceslas were not such a stubborn ass, and relinquished that throne that he has no use for anyway. The nobility, on the other hand, found a ruler like him very useful. They made a puppet out of him.
Once you restore order, they'll join you. All you have to do is promise them the privileges they lost during Wenceslas' reign.
First, they'd have to be willing to make peace, at least among themselves. Jobst does everything he can to sow chaos, so that he himself emerges victorious in the end. This business makes me thirsty. Pour me some of that red, boy.
I think Jobst is just waiting for the right moment. He'll switch sides when it suits him.
Maybe. But first I'll have to conquer a few more cities. And get a couple more lords on my side. Then they take the threat of war seriously. And Hungary. If Bohemia is a wasp's nest, then Hungary is a viper's lair.
You will follow in his footsteps, sire, as soon as you get the chance.
But the wine is good here. To your health, Marquardt. And to your health too, boy. May your children grow in the land ruled by a good king.
Thank you, sire. You are too magnanimous.
Why? You did a good job. You can be proud of yourself.
To your health, your majesty.
First, we need to crack down on the biggest troublemakers.
We're working on it. While the consul was meeting, Berghoff and his men set out for Rabush. Odorin won't give you any more trouble.
He and Ruthard are in it together. Once we get Odorin, we can handle Ruthard easily. Rabosh will be yours. After all, Otto has already got Malishov.
I appreciate your confidence, sire.
But the devil knows there are a lot more strongholds to conquer here.
For the king, red wine, boy.
No. We shall have white. We have had enough of red.
White it is.Quickly! If Rabush falls, others will follow.
I think von Berghoff's little contraption will find its use again.
If need be, we could use it to raise this town hall too. And I have some suggestions.
White wine make it feel so fine.
Not so fast, my friend. It's a wondrous tool, but we can't rely on it forever.
But to bring it here to the square and point it at the city hall? Those sycophants would only benefit from a warning like that.
It's a splendid idea, but it won't be necessary. The councillors are quite fearful enough already that they can hide nothing from us.
There's been enough fretting, sire. You shall see. Soon we will drink to the conquest of another fortress.
You are right. So then, to victory. And you, boy, will you drink with us? So that you shall have something to tell your children and grandchildren.
To victory, sire.
To today's, and those of the future.
Did you say that Lord Konstantin was going with them? No, sire. Left a long time ago. A while ago.
And when those two go.
Friend!
Girls, or the piglet, and then you will wake up in a... How'd you like a...
The art of winemaking has... Recipes are passed on from father to son. I myself was practically... Even the French royal, the king himself, had wine...
I expect his lordship had the best barrels rolled out.
Best, this wine would perhaps be suited to the infirmary, where it would suffice for Baron Vaku.
Having a good time.
It's a fucking bore.
Well, what are you missing? There's...
You're wrong. But I'd rather run my own affairs.
I understand. Let's...
How come you're still here, sir? Weren't you supposed to travel?
All hail Yobst! He sorted out things here nicely. But you know how it goes. I explained to the Margrave that I'm not going anywhere, and I'm too old.
Did you at least discuss...
Nothing to discuss. It'll be at our... It's the pride of our family. We can fit in 3 times more people than here, and...
But I'd bet my right arm old hand...
What?
Deal with him yourself, though.
Have you ever thought about it?
Greetings, friends. Anyway. And now, you sufferers.
I'd like to drink a toast with you to our joint success. So, touching. Come now.
I never had...
Truly.
Not a bit. I'm just a...
In that case, in quite...
Fuck. I've got a tongue like a slice of weak old bread after...
Well...
His lordship is so unstable.
To hell with that keg slop. I had my eye on him all evening, and left the rest of us to drink cheap dregs. Try and find one of those pictures for us.
You can bet on it.
I don't doubt it.
Hey, man! Where are we supposed to keep watch outside the gate today?
I am not sure. Were we?
I have a feeling I forgot. I remember someone saying something about the gate.
Whatever. They got by without us so far. They'll be fine. You're right. I don't know about you, but I can barely stand. And to stand over that ditch.
Let's drink and be merry. What do you say?
Best thing we do. Right?
Just a bit longer.
Yo, what's happening, Ace? He's chilling, he's chilling. Playing Kingdom Come 2.
Are you surprised?
Yeah, it's dope.
Not sure.
Real tough.
Are we?
All that tough. Yep.
I'd rather
pretty
eat
much
well.
The same. It's better though.
Baron Vaku Voku.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. Blizzy on the bed in his little bed sleeping. Yeah, he's doing good.
What do you say?
I walked him around the block. And he did real good. Yeah, he's a good little helmet.
Was just beginning.
Quite a farcical beginning.
Give me 100.
sword is purely ornamental.
Alright, player.
That's right. The likes of him live only for hunting trips and visiting the bathhouse and whiskey.
Fuckings for beggars.
Good day.
To run away from the fucking army that crossed his path.
Everybody likes a drop of white.
Now there's a piece of horseflesh for you, Roothard. Not like that nag of yours.
What the hell do you feed it with? It looks more like a damn bull.
Sir! Sir! There's some horsemen right out front of the fortress.
Ah, that's Peter of Pisac. He wouldn't come to the council, but he is coming happily to the celebration, you old fox.
Come on in, sir. There's wine aplenty.
Hey! Hey! Intruders! Enemies at the gates!
Seize the nobles! Kill the rest!
I'll show you. Jesus! The surrounding creature! Can't take it on his own.
I'll take...
Take up the sword, damn it! Ha! You got it!
Take that fucker off, damn it!
Nice hit!
my stuff back. Okay. Longsword. Okay. I don't get what I'm missing. Oh.
Nice strike!
Go fuck yourself!
To me!
Show your stuff!
Wanker!
You won't get me!
I'll kick your ass!
He's had it!
That won't
Show
work
what you're
on
made
me!
of! You won't get me!
Show you!
What are those fancy moves, for fuck's sake?
Bad luck!
You two!
I told you he had two left hands!
I'll beat you to a bloody pulp, fucker! That won't work on me!
Wanker! He doesn't know which way to turn! You're done here, Horsons.
That was a close shave.
A little too close. Oh, fuck me. Do my eyes deceive me? Henry!
Godwin!
How did you get...
Damn. I can't tell you how happy I am to see you. You turned up at just the right moment.
Is everyone alright?
Well, some are, some aren't.
They captured Odorin, Kunstad and Rutard. And they took Alder and Kunrad of Vector away too.
They wanted to slay the rest like dogs.
What about my father? And Hanush?
They left with Jobst long before that. I'm sure they're all right, but not everyone was so lucky.
I tried to come as soon as possible and warn you, but von Bergov's people beat me here.
You knew he was coming.
He wanted Odorin. He probably had no idea they'd find most of Sigismund's enemies here in one place.
I bet he couldn't believe his fucking luck.
And Sigismund will be moving at a gallop. We have to be really careful.
Is there anything we can...
Definitely not right. We'll treat the wounded, then we'll hide in the Devil's Den and wait...
If I survive the journey... Oh, God's teeth. That stupid nag nearly broke me in half.
The king announced one more thing at the council. He asked the councillors to ransack the Jewish quarter. That is, he ordered it, more like.
Fuck! Liechtenstein's got his people there. They could reveal a lot.
The city rabbi is sitting upstairs in the hall. At least he's safe.
They're our allies.
What do you mean by we? Everyone here is reluctant. Maybe Samuel will figure something out.
He's here too.
Aye, escorting the rabbi. You should go and see them as soon as possible. Until...
Anyway, we've got work.
Give me a moment. Guard the walls until morning. If anyone shows up, I want to know who is right to do.
Good to see you.
Oh, come on. You know, they could well have... If it hadn't been for you, Henry...
Von Owlet's surprised even Sigismund with that. You should have seen the look on the king's face.
Well, they killed Lady Anna of Volstein, and many other nobles. And they captured... without them, we can hardly get the...
We'll figure out a way to...
But how? Get a grip. Whining doesn't help. You're right. Nevertheless, I have to...
Actually, at Sigismund's council, an order...
Gods, we need to get back to this. I'm going with you. Out of the question. You'll be more useful if you stay. Henry, tell Samuel and the rabbi to get ready to travel.
You did. But I still insist that it was necessary.
Then what have we gained? We could easily have ended up lying dead outside.
Sam, I need to have a word.
Just tell him.
What did you talk about?
We talked about your stepfather.
Why?
It's true, I did not. Remember how I stared at your sword when we first met? Well, the thing is, I am Martin's son.
What?
Yes, his...
Are you sure? We look the same.
When I was born, he was all... nothing. Proof, perhaps, that both your... You know, all my life, I thought if I... But now that I know, I will never see him.
I can tell you about him if you want. This is not the end. Sigismund ordered confiscation of the property of people in...
The king has...
He's no king to me. He's a fucking whoreson.
What's a gazette?
That is hard.
Nonsense. Christians set out to kill our people. Innocent and often... And all that...
This is what we were afraid of. We need to get back into... Will you come with us?
I'll come. And Liechtenstein already knows about it too.
Very well.
Let's not waste time.
Thank God you're all right. On the way here, I saw Sigismund horsemen and feared...
Kubienka?
Well, I heard you were having some... And I see, instead of that...
Well, the real massacre is yet to come if we don't do something fast. Can we borrow the wagon you were on?
But of course.
Could you stop blabbering already?
Easy, Ingele.
All right.
I'll explain to you on the way.
Are you coming?
Of course.
Do you think that's a good idea?
I'm not.
But... All right, then.
Oh, he just falls out the bed slowly.